This might be the biggest collapse of a channel in YouTube history where the person's entire brand is a lie. Max frames himself as a professional predator hunter, having caught many criminals.
I'm the pedo hunting guy.
I'm the friggin' pedo hunter.
We have the right guy. Like we always do.
Arresting predators is something everyone could get behind, netting him over $15,000 a month on Patreon. Except he hasn't caught anyone. Zero proof of anything.
A destructive sex cult that has victimized hundreds of children. The leader is still active. This is the real deal. Law enforcement has failed us. We have solid evidence we are saving for the legal case.
He doesn't have anything. His lawyers told him so. Even worse, he's been fabricating information and outright lying to his audience. Nicholas DeOrio and Muta have made videos blowing this story wide open. So I want to touch on some of the behind the scenes over the years when it comes to Max, as well as the fallout of this entire cancellation. The key takeaway I want you to have coming into this video is that Max has never caught a predator.
So you've never actually gotten a pedophile arrested?
Not to my knowledge.
He doesn't even go to the cops.
Well, now that you guys are sort of getting a case together, don't you think it'd be a better idea to, before the video, to give it to the authorities again, now that you're like all together and you can sort of go as a collective to the police?
I mean, we could have done that, but at the same time, with the track record that we've already seen, it just didn't really seem realistic without having more of us survivors to do this.
Yes, I feel the urgency of the matter requires all of us to start bringing the survivors together. I don't want to wait for the bureaucracy of law enforcement to take their time.
When Max talked to a lawyer about his case, he allegedly said there wasn't enough evidence.
So when we reached out to the lawyer, he told us it would not be beneficial to pursue a case against Camden Gerard Davis because he likely does not have substantial assets. So he recommended that we all go in person to report him to the police station that is in his jurisdiction.
Then why didn't you? From a lot of creators' perspective, it seemed like the only point of Max's video was to get people to shout him out. 2023, Max's big video was a Trojan horse, where the idea was to criticize big content creators for making videos on Sniper Wolf instead of talking about his video on Cameron Gerard Davis. He even ends it with a hashtag.
Let's set an example of responsible influence, starting with this very exchange. Your presence here is more than just a view count. It is a small step toward action.
Hashtag we are real, showing a picture of one of the alleged victims. Nobody has been able to jump on the story with Max because there is no story. His evidence was saying Camden groomed hundreds of girls into his werewolf cult and showing random DMs.
The man had recruited hundreds of young children, subjecting them to sending CP, assault, and attempted trafficking.
He then shows a social media direct message from, I assume this is the app Whisper. Correct me if I'm wrong. And again, if you read the chat, I was bitten by a wolf. That's how I became one. Can you show you in your form, werewolf form? What's the context? Getting sucked by Kirby equals raisin balls. What is the context here? How does this explain the cult? How does this explain anything? This is why people are mad. He is presenting these screenshots like they're damning evidences.
He has this as a permanent picture in the corner of his stream, cementing that this guy has hundreds of victims, but zero evidence of even one existing. And when it comes to Camden's supposed victim, Spencer, her testimony is just absurd.
On March 18th, 2016, Spencer, a 16-year-old girl from Wiley, Texas, mysteriously disappeared, lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire on some random corner of the internet. She actually found herself ensnared in a dangerous sex cult led by a child predator posing as a werewolf god.
Wait, so what did he convince you to be? Like a werewolf or vampire? What are we talking here?
He convinced me that I was a vampire, and then later on, after he quote-unquote broke up with me, I was a hybrid of a werewolf and a vampire.
Oh, a hybrid. Okay.
Yeah. He got deep into it.
That's all of Max's evidence. Random messages and a statement that is insane. It's rapist Twilight, apparently. If you're 16 years old and you want to bang a guy because you think he's a werewolf, an actual werewolf, then you deserve to be groomed. Am I allowed to say that? Because it's how I really feel. Your parents failed you. Even creators reacting to his video at the time were hypercritical because of how little evidence Max had.
In a world where the these industries amass profits in the hundreds of billions. It is unfathomable how they can still operate largely in
So, like, can you get to what's the situation?
escalation of human trafficking.
There's nothing here. I can't even sit through it. This is the third time he's saying the same shit over and over again. Some girl, here's my Patreon where people pay me money to virtue signal about topics I probably don't really care about. Okay, cool. So we had no information here. There was no presentation of information. You didn't direct us where we could find out more about what's actually going on. What a tone-deaf video.
Here's the thing, it's not just creators that don't know what's going on. Max doesn't even know what's going on. This all leaked from his call with Muta and Nick.
I am in the server where they are posting evidence. Not all of them have walked me through what the evidence is as to what the context is.
Okay. So you can't verify the evidence then?
What does that mean I can't verify it?
You can't verify if what they're posting is legitimate.
It means
You
that there's a
verify
much
it.
larger issue here. Not only do we have no idea what's going on, it seems like you don't know what's going on.
I do know what's going on. I don't know the complete story.
You're the complete story. That's your job, just to get the complete story out there. You understand how crazy this sounds?
Yeah, why are you putting it all on me?
Because it's your case!
The one bringing it. Why are you
Absolutely, I am the first one.
Yeah.
I do
You
not
are
want
the
to be the
only one!
The majority of this video is Max hating on bigger creators for not shouting him out for his unsubstantiated allegations.
The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
It's him begging Charlie in DMs to shout him out.
Charlie, I hold on to the hope that you'll act in accordance with the integrity and goodness I've always known you to possess.
He just wants a shout out. That's all this is. Max, is this about clout or is this about helping people? You didn't go to the police, your lawyer said you didn't have enough evidence, and when you were in a call with Nick and Muta, you claimed that allegations is evidence because ChatGPT said so.
Oh, not ChatGPT, bro.
Okay. So, look at what I just sent you.
Yeah, you sent me a ChatGPT prompt, not a fucking legal definition.
I mean, we can argue legal semantics all we
No,
want.
we're not arguing
lawyers.
semantics. We have to look at exact definition, Max.
ChatGPT understands the legal system.
He vaguely threatened Nick while he was making his video, saying, "Your silence has been both noticeable and disappointing. Your response or lack thereof will not go unnoticed." He threatened to cancel Charlie for not promoting his video.
Makes me sad doing this. But I am being the nicest I could be. I could literally cancel you, Charlie. I could literally cancel you. And I choose not to. It's true, though. It's the truth. Like, I'm the friggin' pedo hunter.
And you're terrible at it. It's like, what do you mean by that? Are you threatening to call Charlie a pedophile? And he's always done this. He made weird, vague threats against Corp's husband, trying to get a shout out.
I know you have nothing to do with this, but with all of your power, influence, and the favor you owe me, I just couldn't help myself. So, remember when you reached out after years of not speaking to me while I was at the hospital tending to my sick girlfriend, and you kept trying to rush me home to do you a huge favor, and then you threw me under the bus for something you did, and at the same time acted like you were taking full responsibility for it?
It's about him saying the word retard. Who cares? He's got to jump on your pedo allegations because of this? Yeah, because the gaming YouTuber is equipped to handle such allegations. He did this to the most popular YouTuber at the time, Shane Dawson.
I know you've done a lot of f***ed up shit in the past and you don't really deserve everyone's forgiveness. But since you're one of the biggest creators in our genre, standing up for what's right instead of wasting time on haunted houses would finally make you look good to the public once again. This is your chance to redeem yourself. Don't squander it.
The video is called Pick a Side YouTube, and it came out in 2021. The implication is that if you don't shout out Max, then you're siding with pedophiles. I'm not even joking, this is what he does. A creator named Tommy C criticized Max for this unhinged behavior 2 years ago.
So beyond the realm of ridiculous, and I am generally shocked by the quality of YouTubers that are not looking at this a little more critically. It is just shocking to me, and just how many YouTubers, and I think I know where it comes from to some extent. I'm afraid to be called a pedo.
And that's exactly what happened. Max responded to Tommy by saying he sides with pedos.
Actually, you know what? Before we even watch it, let's take a caller. Hi, you're live on the air.
I pick pedophiles.
Wow. Okay. I absolutely agree. Thank you so much for calling in.
What I did not foresee, however, was when you accidentally aligned with actual pedophiles along the way.
Now, he does clarify later that he isn't calling Tommy a predator.
And that's not me calling you a pedophile number 46853.
But you kind of did. That was the message your fans got as they called Tommy a pedo over and over again. He runs a cult where you aren't supposed to listen to anyone but him.
This is why I say look at behaviors and don't listen to words, guys. Look at her behavior, do not listen to her words. And look at our behavior.
It's terrible. Your behavior is taking unsubstantiated and sometimes completely fabricated claims and pressuring YouTubers into promoting your channel. And if they don't, they're predators or they don't think the victim should be platformed.
Because I'm gonna tell you now, Lyrics had hella good points, Muta, once again, had hella good points, and you're not listening to them. And every time Muta talks to you for 2 times in a row, I think it was 2 live streams in a row, but 2 times Muta has talked to you, you act like your daddy whooped your ass and you look like you're about to cry because you know his ass is right. But yet you don't do what he says. What is wrong with you?
So you don't want me to platform the survivors for live streams?
When did I say I don't want them platformed? When did I say I don't want them platformed?
He's shoving words in Xylee's mouth. It's so horribly bad faith. If you're going to platform victims, do so responsibly. Have your receipts in order. You going about this so recklessly hurts creators who collab with you. It hurts your reputation, but most importantly, it hurts the victim's reputation.
Fuck you, I survived.
I have been doing commentary since 2017, and I've seen poorly covered allegations year after year, some innocent, some likely guilty. At what point is it too much? At what point should YouTubers leave it to the authorities before covering it? That's why I like to use ground news. When covering serious allegations on this channel, like the Andrew Tate case, it's important to source articles that stick to the facts. Ground News is an app and website that lets you see every side to every story and helps you understand where the media bias is coming into play. There was recently a story posted by Vice about how a guy escaped Andrew Tate's trafficking cult. Ground News clearly labels it as coming from a left-leaning source and says that the article has some mixed factuality. And when you read it, it's dead on, with the entire article being this guy's testimony with no proof he was even part of Tate's program. The only thing making this story somewhat believable is other people's leaks from Tate's course. This is why Ground News is so great, because you can see who's covering these stories and how reliable these articles are before you read them. So it doesn't matter if it's about the Russell Brand case or Andrew Tate or the US elections, Ground News is the only app that gives me the facts about the news straight up. And it prevents my own bias from getting in the way, showing me where I've been getting my news this month. I've done a few ads with Ground News now. I'm the one that reached out to them because I think what they're doing is important. Go to ground.news/WillyMac and get 30% off the Vantage plan, which is what I use. Or you can try their Pro plan for less than $1 a month. Check them out. I want them to be a longtime supporter of the channel. Thank you, Ground News, for sponsoring this video. We gotta find. The craziest part about this story to me is Max saying that allegations are evidence.
So, look at what I just sent you.
This is the problem with this situation. You're going in with evidence that can't be 100% corroborated. You're going in with allegations as an evidence. Courts would laugh you out.
This is wildly hypocritical, seeing that Max has allegations against him. 5 ex-girlfriends have come forward.
Hello everyone, welcome back to an exclusive MamaMax cancellation video. So today, my exes are, as always, accusing me of rape, pedophilia, animal abuse, domestic abuse, kidnapping, and whatever else they can attribute to me.
Guilty. Lock him up. Allegations are evidence. When his accusers would villainize everyone who didn't believe in them, Max would act like it was a ridiculous thing to do.
So according to Paulina, if you believe that I am innocent of these allegations, then you are either an incel, a fuckwit, or an abusive asshole.
Wow, Max, your ex sounds just like you. You were perfect for each other. How'd you let them go? Max's response to the allegations was to call one of their boyfriends a pedophile.
Anthony Field, Haley's boyfriend, Magnetar on YouTube, the one who published this video on me.
Max's proof is allegations from an unknown person where they were both friends while they were both in high school together. So I don't really get how that works.
I've known this girl since she was a child, and I believe what she says.
Why was this not a red flag for us back in the day? This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. This video is so telling because he does the same thing he did to Tommy. I'm not saying he's a pedo. Yes, you did. You already called him that.
And I feel this is not enough evidence to build an entire case against him.
So I have not and will not until we have more proof.
He says this to make it seem like he has integrity. His evidence against this guy is the same evidence he has against Camden. None. Max then reiterates less than 1 minute later that the guy's a predator, making his previous statement pointless.
I guess it's poetic that my abusers try to take me down with the help of a pedophile.
Dude, you just said that there wasn't enough evidence. Max's accusers don't have enough evidence for Max to be considered guilty of anything, but they have more evidence than Max ever has when making his allegations. You could take everything Max says and flip it on him.
The fact that they are trying to profit off of subjects like rape and CSA is probably one of the most disgusting things you can do as a human being. You guys are the reason why it's so goddamn difficult to believe actual victims. It seems to be their pattern. If you don't believe them, you're going to get harassed. It is why he uses manipulative language so that I can't defend myself without people immediately thinking I am lying. It is why he has been trying so hard to pester small commentary channels to cover the story. It is why he refused to handle everything privately and legally. He is the predator.
You are the predator. In his video where he's falsely accused, he uses it to falsely accuse people. It's poetic.
I literally love you, Charlie. I literally love you, dude.
Max has been caught dead lying about everything. The predators he's caught. Hell, he's even admitted faking stuff in his video for artistic purposes.
The investigations themselves are real, but obviously the films have fictional elements. Like, it's a film. Like, I am presenting it as if it were to be real, but I didn't think people would take it as that. Like,
but wait, you hunt pedophiles. You don't think that people are going to think your videos are real?
So that's the thing. So I want everyone, when you watch my video, to assume everything is fake, except like when I show a people's face and what they're doing.
He's falsely accused people because they don't believe his art should be trusted. And when people falsely accuse Max, he falsely accuses them back. It's such psychotic behavior, I wanted to talk to Max to see if there was some other explanation for all of this. It is the most elaborate lie since John Swan. I messaged him asking, are you going to respond to all of this? And he replied, right now my priority is on the survivors. Once things cool down, I'll respond to everything. What more could you be doing for the survivors at this point? You haven't gotten anyone arrested and your lawyer says you don't have enough evidence. What could you possibly be busy with? I said, I don't see why you would make this up outside of just wanting more clout. Is there some detail people are missing? Do you want to talk so it's not such a dog pile? Max responded, there's a lot of detail people are missing. We're explaining everything in a documentary. Is this where all the evidence is going to be? I just don't know if I have the patience for another art piece where I had to determine what's real and what's fake. I assume it has to do with his Silence All Survivors trailer, which was posted to his Patreon. He continues, I do want to talk and I appreciate you reaching out. Just right now, there is much more sensitive issues that require my immediate attention. I'm down to have a conversation in the future about everything if you'd like. I'm down, and I genuinely hope he's on track to deal with this the right way. He talks about it a bit in his response video.
I just completed a 30-minute video called Silencing All Survivors that addresses pretty much everything. It addresses criticisms. It addresses my approach. It includes apologies. It includes a call to action on Camden.
Do you have any evidence this time around? Because if not, don't make the video. Max then apologizes to Charlie.
I'm sorry to Charlie. I really am sorry. I did not mean to make you upset. Sorry to Charlie for dragging him into a case that is not necessarily his fight. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my audience who don't even know what the heck is going on.
Again, you have no idea if these claims are legit. We're supposedly having hundreds of victims. It's weird how the only one we see is Spencer. He ends the video by speaking in vague terms.
And people are making all these public attacks, not platforming any of us, not wanting to talk to the survivors themselves. And when people do talk to the survivors, they're getting attacked. Just because they're transgender.
Bruh, what are you talking about? Lyrics? He then gets the most scripted hug ever. Hassan's fake crying looked more real. His trailer for the documentary is him complaining about how his Kickstarter was taken down.
Our GoFundMe to support the survivors of child sex crimes committed by Camden Gerard Davis was mass reported and shut down. We stand at a pivotal moment in history for the voices of child crime survivors. The silence has already been overwhelming, and now powerful forces are trying to further mute our efforts.
Look how manipulative this is. He's showing his critics tweets about him and framing it as if they're silencing the victims. You're the only one to blame. It's your shoddy reporting that made people second guess the victims. Don't blame them, blame yourself.
Oh my god, he's crying! What a fucking bitch!
Max, stop with the artistic stuff. The deep voice, the music, faking evidence. Videos that are this serious should be very clear. Here's the allegations, and here's the evidence to go with it. Nobody cares about anything else. Stop crying.
Feels like when we reach out for help, people just want to use that opportunity to attack us, to hate on me. It's hard. This is really hard.
It shouldn't be this hard. Just be upfront about what you have. Also, stop making these hashtags trying to drag creators down with you. If you have a strong enough story, people will want to talk about it. Look at everybody talking about you right now. Moral of the story, if you're a victim, don't go to MamaMax. If you're a predator, make sure your victims go to MamaMax. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Subscribe to the channel and be sure to check out Ground News. Stop getting your news from YouTubers. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon. Phoebes, Crimson Glass, Christina Vina, Mac Monkey, Drain Kobex, Necro Valley, Stefan Billman, Friday 13, Abby Blackbird, Eddie Bizzle, Tiz McFitz, Christopher H, Kinklemore, and the mega homies, Reynolds Hughes, Hellison, IGP, Zombie Fox, Your Taxi, Latchkey, Gothboy, Cyber Katie, Lori Loaded, Papa Gut, Caden Lulin, Luis G, Exo Irish Exo, BA Subway, TV Anthology Reviews, Hawkin Load, Zerophonic, and Derek Dew.